How is it going today? Loyalist Kingdom, my name's Dwayne.
My name's Jasmine.
We're Dwayne Jasmine. We have Shane, pop culture conspiracy theories. And I heard that yesterday he did last prisoner eating murderer's last meal. So, thank you.
Your last meal's on your lips. Sorry. I had to get it.
So we'll probably go check that out tomorrow. But anyway, let's dive on in.
Okay.
You just did the deepest voice. What was that voice?
DJ.
How did you do
Oh
that?
my gosh,
Very
no,
white.
I can do Mickey Mouse and
I love him.
voice, so
Okay,
it's kinda
give me
like
first. Give me Mickey.
oh my god, it's
Certain
so much
face.
fun. Oh boy.
Oh my God! Wait, are you?
Hi pal, it's me.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
That was cool.
Yeah, it was funny.
He didn't have to put a disclaimer before, but now I guess he has to because everybody's like,
Like the
I hate
Walmart,
you.
like
Yeah.
Walmart, yeah.
Conspiracy theories.
Okay, so
Like, stop having people come to the store asking me where the ghost at.
There are some fucking crazy ones. Now, some I've talked about before. For example, some people thought back
Hate
in the
those
day that
things.
Furbies were actually recording all of our
I hate those
conversations
things
and
so
sending them
much.
to the government. Which sounds crazy, except for the creator of Furby admitted that Furbies do record what you say because it's
Yeah, it has to
needed
respond to you.
Learn how to talk back. Another
Yeah.
conspiracy theory that we talked about is that Leapfrog is actually owned by Apple. And if you don't know what Leapfrog is, basically Leapfrog creates these like fake Mac
Well, I think of
products,
Frogger.
which are like an
Yeah.
iPad and a laptop and a fake iPhone. And some people think that Apple created all of that to get little kids interested in iPhones and iPads and laptops so that when they're old enough, they'll buy it.
I think
Now,
it's
those
just
two
for
are backwards.
technology,
This
period.
next
Yeah.
one is over. Now there's a theory that some kids' toys that talk are actually saying subliminal messages to your kids. And
Oh,
some of
boy.
them aren't even subliminal. Some
You know
of
I don't
them
mess with
you can
dolls.
literally just hear. Now this first one is the latest and probably the biggest controversy about kids' toys. And that is that Hatchimals, which are the newest toy right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah, we saw
actually
that.
cuss. So Hatchimals
What?
are these like little talking birds and other animals that come inside of an egg and they hatch out of the egg and then they don't shut the fuck up for like the
They
entire
saw that
don't.
video.
They're
when
dashy.
this toy came out, a lot of parents started noticing that the Hatchimal started saying things in its sleep that did not sound kid-friendly. Now, I'm not going to tell you what they think it's saying. I'm going to let you decide that for yourself.
Okay.
Did you hear it?
Oh,
Well,
God.
it
If you
sounded
didn't
like
hear
that
it,
with
then maybe it's
Dashy.
not
Like it
very-
sounded like
I fucking
moaning.
heard it. Now, what the parents think it's saying is,
F me.
fuck me, over and over again.
I said,
now
oh,
that you
God.
know that,
No.
listen again. I know, it's pretty fucking crazy. Like, I literally hear that animal saying fuck me. I heard it saying fuck me when I was watching an unboxing of it, and I was like, did that animal say
Dashy.
fuck me?
Yeah.
That's why I was watching an unboxing of the toy. It's a long story. Now, so many parents complained that this story kind of went viral, it was on the news, and the company in charge of Hatchimals came out and said, no, it is just saying hug me. We would never have our toys cuss.
Hug
This is
me?
not the first time this has happened. This literally happens all the time. Just a year ago, McDonald's released a Minions toy that a bunch of parents complained about because they said they heard it saying, what the fuck, over and over again.
Huh?
Now, of course,
It doesn't
McDonald's
sound like
came
it,
out
that's
and said,
reaching.
No, that's not what it said. It was just gibberish. But sometimes toys say something that sounds so clear that the people in charge have to be like, fuck. The worst one was back in 2011 when Toys R Us was selling this talking baby doll, and it said, you crazy bitch. Check it out. Yeah,
Oh, now that time it
literally
said it.
crazy bitch.
Right.
Like it
I don't know, that one might be
was
possessed.
out and
Right.
said that.
I don't know.
And so many
Yeah.
parents complained, and Toys R Us heard it themselves too, so they pulled it off the shelves. Now, some toys
Good.
don't just say bad words, but they can get you to create a bad word. For example, all those baby toys that are like phones with numbers, if you put the numbers in the right order, you might get a secret message.
Let's call our friend. Not Teresa.
Okay, so
That's the funniest joke I've ever seen.
I know.
companies are owned by something bigger.
Pause it.
The point is to brainwash your kids and send them subliminal messages.
Oh my God.
Bad words of sex.
That was
of
weird.
wanting
Yeah.
money, Of wanting power. Literally, the whole point of giving your kids toys is to fill their brains with things that you want them to know. I mean, it sounds crazy, but is it? I mean, my parents never cussed around me, so how did I learn how to cuss at such a young age? I don't know.
Hear it
All I know is
around
when
your
I'm
other
hearing my
friends?
kids playing with
Yeah,
a fucking
school.
11 or a fucking fucking banana. That's it. Okay, so this next conspiracy theory is kind of touchy and it is really intense. And that is the theory that Michael Jackson was actually murdered. So as you guys know, back in 2009, Michael Jackson
You
died.
said they found
of an
like
overdose
what
of
drugs or something.
The doctor
Yeah,
who gave it to
yep.
him, his name was Conrad Murray, and
He was going through it,
charged
boy.
with killing Michael Jackson. Mainly because a doctor should know not to give somebody that much of that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He gave him too much. But there's a theory that Conrad was kind of the scapegoat, and that somebody else wanted to murder Michael Jackson, and they used Conrad to do it. Now, our first piece of evidence comes
Well,
from
that's
Paris
such a
Jackson,
Conrad.
who is Michael
Right.
Jackson's daughter. Now, before we get started, I just want you guys to know that I am not trying to exploit Michael Jackson. This isn't about me, like, making some crazy story up about his death. I truly do believe that there is more to the story of his murder than we know, and I really fucking want justice for it. I also have a personal connection to Paris, his daughter. We know each other, we talk. And after she came out in this interview and said this stuff, I was like, fuck it, I'm making a video. I wanted to talk about this for a long time. Let's do it. So first, let's talk about what she said in Rolling Stone magazine. She said he would drop hints about people being out to get him. And at some point, he was like, they're going to kill me one day. Then they asked her if she thinks he was murdered. And she said, all arrows point to that. It sounds like a total conspiracy theory, and it sounds like bullshit. But all the real fans and everybody in the family knows it. It was a setup. It was bullshit. Now, Paris is the first person in the Jackson family to say that they think Michael was murdered. His sister LaToya did an interview not too long after he died, and she said some pretty scary shit.
Do you think it's murder?
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. I said it in the beginning, and
She's such a
I
sweetheart.
believe it to this day. You must remember, Michael told me repeatedly that they were going to kill him, that he was going to die.
Who is they?
Who's they though?
And who did it?
Hello?
Hello?
Whoa.
She knows. She
Who's
knows
they?
who did it.
They murdered my brother, and they know who they are. It's not just Dr. Murray, I promise you that. It's more people involved, and they know exactly who they are, and I'm gonna let you guys know exactly what's happening, what's going on.
And then she alludes to the fact that there might be a lot of people involved,
Illuminati.
which kind of sounds like
Yeah.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are people in the background
There are people in the
pulling
background.
strings.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so now that we've heard his own daughter and his own sister say that they think he was murdered, let's talk about the theories as why somebody would murder him. Now, the first theory is AEG. Now, AEG is a company that promotes concerts. And before he died, Michael Jackson was going to go on his final tour called This Is It, and AEG was in charge of promoting it. Now, a lot of people think that AEG knew that Michael was sick and that his health was not good enough to do this tour.
This was so many disclaimers in
I
it.
know.
That's what led to his death. Here's what Paris said about that. AEG Live does not treat their performers right. They drain them dry and work them to death. Now, AEG does a lot of concerts, including Justin Bieber's, and Paris had something pretty scary to say about that, too. Now, she went to one of Justin Bieber's concerts, and she said this afterwards. He was tired, going through the motions. I looked at my ticket, saw AEG Live, and I thought of how my dad was exhausted all the time, but couldn't sleep. So she's insinuating that AEG is working Justin to death.
I believe that.
Maybe he
That
could
sounds
end up being the
believable.
next victim. Now, a source close to Justin heard that Paris said this and came out and said this. Justin is not at all scared or overworked. He's in the best health and state of mind he's ever been. Bitch,
That's what AEG said.
listen, it does not take a conspiracy theorist to call bullshit on that one. Best state of mind he's ever been in.
No.
That to me sounds
Not
like
at
somebody
all.
doing some fucking damage control. Now, just to show even more what AEG has been through, they also are being sued by Christina Grimmie's family because they did not give the proper security for her concert, which led to her death.
Oh, shame.
Obviously, I'm not going to go too much more into that one because I can't, because I'll fucking cry, so we're going to move on. Now, the next theory of who murdered him is possibly the people that were doing business around him. Now, Michael Jackson owned a lot of shit. I mean, he owned the whole entire catalog for the Beatles. He owned his own music catalog. He had Neverland Ranch. He had a lot of money. So some people think that his business advisors and people around him wanted him to die so that they could get all of it. And maybe they hired Dr. Conrad and paid him off to slowly kill Michael. And the last theory is obviously the biggest one and the creepiest one, and that is that Michael was killed by the Illuminati. Now listen, this one
I
sounds
believe that
crazy,
too.
but is it? I mean, Michael became so famous when he was a kid. Then he became even more famous as an adult.
Yeah.
Then he
Yeah.
started speaking out about the music industry and saying he wanted to rebel and saying he didn't want to do what they wanted him to do. And then they got pissed. Then all these controversies came out about him.
Yeah.
Things I don't want to bring up, but you know what I'm talking about. So maybe the Illuminati was trying everything they could to ruin his career.
Yes,
They knew
but it didn't work.
speak
It was
out
too
against
big
it.
to quit.
So hopefully
Yeah,
we'll soon.
too legit to quit.
Yes.
Hopefully we can finally get justice for our dad. Alright, so let's move on to a conspiracy theory that's a little lighter, but also still
Yeah, because that was a
fucks
long,
me up.
dark one.
Yeah.
It's the theory that Jack Dawson from the Titanic is also Jay Gatsby from The Great Gatsby.
Okay, babe.
I know,
It
sounds
just
crazy,
slips out
but it
like me.
actually kind of makes sense. Alright, so Jack Dawson was a poor guy who won a ticket onto the Titanic in
Which you never saw.
He attends the first class dinner. He's hanging out
Gosh.
with all the fancy
That was the
people.
young
He starts
King.
to like it. Then he gets in trouble for stealing Rose's diamonds, which
Mm-hmm.
he didn't do, although we never saw that, so maybe he did. Then, what if he survived? You know, like we saw him float down.
Yeah,
but
float
what
down
if
to
his
the
heart
bottom.
started again? What if he survived? What if he got on land, pawned all the diamonds, got a bunch of money, then spends the next 10 years building up his business, building up his wealth, and then in 1922, 10 years later, becomes the Great Gatsby. And by the way, has a shady past that he doesn't have to talk about, and has a fear of swimming pools and water.
Yes, he does.
I know. That
Yeah,
one
that
is
was-
You remember that part?
stupid, but
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about, like, what if that is in the same universe? Because the timeline makes sense.
That would be
his
cool.
age
That does
makes
make sense.
And
Yeah,
personality-wise,
that would be
they
dope.
were pretty
That's
similar.
cool.
Okay, speaking of movie conspiracies, this next one is actually really interesting, and I really fell down a hole reading about this one. And that is the theory that the character Riley from Inside Out is actually bi gender. Okay, so as you guys know,
What?
the movie Inside Out is about a little
What?
girl who's going
How
through
did-
a lot,
what?
she's dealing with a lot of emotions.
Okay, I saw
And
this
you
movie,
see
you
inside
did.
of her
I saw
head
it.
her
I saw it.
emotions.
No,
You see
did
anger
you?
and sadness.
Oh.
I saw this
now
one.
the
This one's
emotions
funny.
in her head are male and female. And then later on in the movie, you see the emotions in the dad's head. And check those out.
Oh, they were all guys, and then in the moms, it was all girls.
Yeah.
Right. They're all
And then in the
male.
kids,
Now, what
it
about
was
the mom's
both.
emotions?
Yeah.
Did you guys pick up on that?
Something's wrong.
Should we ask her?
Okay, wait. So the dad's emotions are all male. The moms are all female. So then wouldn't Riley,
Why is
who's
it-
female, have all female emotions?
Yeah.
So maybe she's dealing with both gender emotions. And maybe that's the reason she's going through so much. Maybe she's figuring out her gender.
She
'Cause
doesn't
later on in
know.
the movie, when you see a boy
Yeah,
in the
'cause
hockey
she's
game,
like-
he has all male emotions. And then you see
Yeah.
a goth girl, she has all
It's all
female
girls.
emotions. Riley is the only character in the movie both. So it kind of makes you think maybe she is dealing
That's a
with
good theory.
That is a good
when they
one.
make another Inside Out, it'll deal with transgender. Or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know. I think it could be pretty interesting. And also,
I would see it.
I'm kind of surprised that not that many people
Yeah.
are talking about that. Okay, so this next
I
theory
didn't
I'm
even
gonna talk
notice
about
that.
is really fucking creepy. And it literally kept me up at night. And that is a theory that there is a man who all of us see in our dreams. And he looks the same. to
Oh
you.
God, please
So
no.
before I
I'm
show you a
dreaming
picture
about
of
this
this
crap.
man, I'm going to give you a little background. So back in 2006,
This is
the
scary.
therapist was asking her clients to draw this man that they've been seeing in their dreams. She had multiple clients who drew the same face. Then this started to go viral, and a lot of people said that they saw this man in their dreams. And in the last 10 years, over 2,000
Freddie?
people have said that they've seen him. And it's probably a lot of people probably just don't know about this theory. And
He had
I
a
just wanna
sweater.
let you guys know that I
He had
didn't know about this
dark
theory either.
bird
And
skin.
when I saw this picture,
Yeah.
it fucking blew my mind. Because I have been seeing this man in my dreams since I was
I'm scared to see it
So I'm
now.
gonna show you a
Right.
picture, and you guys let me know down in the comments if you have ever seen him. Here he is.
It's okay. I ain't
You
never
see
seen
this
that
man?
motherfucker.
I ain't never seen him.
Fucking creepy. And if you're like me and you've seen him before,
I ain't never
you're
seen
fucking
this guy.
going nuts
Creepy.
right now. Now this is a
Yeah,
very,
unibrow
very
too.
real
Yeah.
thing. So many people.
Now I'm gonna
have
see him in my
drawn a
dreams now.
picture of this man to the therapist or to their friends. Just check out some of these pictures that people have drawn. Yeah, these are all different people who drew the same man. Okay, so
He's
here's some
coming to get
theories
y'all.
as to why we might be seeing this man in our dreams. Now, one theory is
That's
that
creepy
this
as hell.
man is an image of God, and that God is putting himself in our dreams, but making himself look like a person so we can talk to him. Now, this one makes sense to me because in my dreams, that man has given me advice, and also sometimes he's just watching. And a lot of other people have said that that's what happens to them too. He just watches over them.
No,
the
I
next
never saw him in my
theory is
dream.
pretty scary. That is a theory that this is a real man. He exists in real life, and he has the power to go into strangers' dreams. Now, some people
Freddie,
also think that
see?
this real man might be in charge of a corporation or Illuminati, and he is going into everybody's dreams to give them subliminal messages. Now, the idea of somebody going into
Hit me
another
up.
person's dream isn't that crazy. I mean, if you believe in astral projection, then why wouldn't you believe in going into somebody else's subconscious? But it's still fucking scary to think about. And the last theory is the least scary one. And that is that this man is just a very generic looking man. And in our dreams, our brain can't really create like a new, unique person.
Yes,
so
it
just
can't.
creates the most generic looking face he can, which could be this man, and which could be why we all see him. But whatever the theory is, it doesn't change the fact that he's literally everywhere. I mean, just look at all these pictures from around the world of people posting, have you seen this man? Posting his face everywhere. It's pretty fucking creepy. I don't know. Fucking scares me.
What if he's watching this video right now?
Right,
so the next
that's
theory
me.
is about the author of the Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling. And I feel like I might have touched on this one before, but now I have some more evidence, which I thought was kind of interesting. The theory is that J.K. may
Just
not be
kidding.
who we think she is. Now, we all know the story. She was a poor woman who was writing a book in a coffee shop on a napkin, and then that turned into the
Harry Potter.
which is a very inspirational story. But is it possible? Well, a movie director named Nina Grunfield doesn't think it is. So she thinks that there was something a lot bigger behind this. Her theory is that J.K. did not write the stories, and that she might just be an actress that was hired to pretend like she did. She thinks, and a lot of other theorists think, that these books were created by a huge company or an organization where they were like, okay, let's make something that will become a huge franchise, will sell millions of books, millions of dollars of tickets, and then created the entire thing.
I don't think so.
Oh, this will get a lot of attention and a lot of press if it's written by like a poor woman in England who wrote it on napkins. Oh, that sounds like a good story. And then that happened, and it became the biggest thing ever. Now, I personally think it's real. I think she wrote them. I don't think she's an actress. I'm just letting you guys know that before I go into this. So all the J.K. Rowling heads, do not come for me. I still thought this was interesting to think about. So here's what Nina, the director I was talking about earlier, said. Can a person be so productive and commercially successful in a media industry where nothing is left to coincidence? Is it possible that a person can write 6 thick books that are translated into 55 languages and sell more than 250 million copies in less than 10 years? Is it probable that the stories then get filmed and commercially exploited to the degree seen here, without any well thought out strategy or highly professional players behind them? Is it possible that J.K. Rowling exists? Well, who do they think they're kidding? Not me. She then went on to say that the Nancy Drew books were all written by somebody named Caroline Keene. But Caroline Keene never existed. That was a fake name. Those books were actually written by random writers. And when asked if she thinks that that secret will ever come out, she said, I think the secret behind J.K. Rowling is guarded more strongly than the entrance to the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. It's kind of crazy to think about. You know, like what if the books were just written by like big corporations and companies that know exactly what kids want? And what if J.K. is just like, oh fuck, I hope nobody ever finds out. Once again, I don't believe it, but it's interesting.
I don't believe
the last
that
thing we're going to talk about is an update to the Michaela Instagram theory. Now, a couple weeks ago, I
Oh,
talked about
Jesus,
this
that
Instagram
thing.
star named Little Michaela, and she's blowing up right now, and nobody knows if she's real or if she's fake. So I talked about in my video the fact that I think it's fake, and I think it's
just
company
computer
behind it, or some brand
made.
that are creating a girl out of computers to sell all their products. Well, Little Michaela did not like that, and she went on her Twitter and Instagram and said this. I'm available for reading lessons whenever you're in doubt, BB. Dessert, not desert. And it's pronounced Michaela. I will emoji. So that got me thinking.
Got a little attitude.
That's the reaction that like a normal person would send. Or a kid, or somebody who was like pissed and like, why the fuck do they think I'm fake? I'm real. Fuck this person. Which made me think maybe it's not a company. Maybe it is.
I can give you reading lessons. Like, how about you just have a regular face then?
I did not mean to piss you off. I don't want to start drama. I just thought this was an interesting story, and if you ever want to talk more about it, I'm here. So she wrote back. We talked for a while.
Mysterious.
And, at some point in the future, Michaela like popping up in one of my conspiracy videos, and I don't even know what that means because I still don't know if she's real.
Right, if
so
she's
I'm
real.
fucking excited. So if you want that to happen, please go let her know. I'm trying. All right, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed these conspiracy.
That was dope. I would like to see that.
Now, with the author of Harry Potter, I feel like it's very possible for one person to have a great idea to come out, because you be waking up in the middle of the night and be like, Jasmine,
I have a video idea.
I have a video that we can do this. And I'll be like, okay. Then you go back to sleep. And then, like, we do it, and it does really good. So it's like, I feel like one person could have that create like creativity to make something that's like amazing and just keep going with it. That's like the same thing from like that movie Misery. Like when she fell in love with all his books. I'm just saying, like he's a very successful author.
That's one movie I still have to see.
Yeah,
Misery was good.
Yeah,
I was like,
awesome.
God.
Y'all didn't see it? Go watch it.
That's an old
figure out
school
what
movie.
I'm talking about.
It is great.
It's
oh,
crazy.
Sheesh,
but
man.
I felt like if a big corporation was to make like one book, like it'll be so like cheesy and cliche and everything like that. Because like usually, to me, in my opinion, when all these like networks and stuff try to create something, especially nowadays, it's like all cliche and corny and just like stupid to me.
Right.
So like that's why I'm like, I don't think a corporation made that. I think one person made that on their own without anybody else.
I don't think J.K. Rowling. I think J.K. Rowling made her books. I don't think no corporation made it for her. Because, you know, I've seen best-selling books happen all the time. Let's Hunger Games.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Best-selling books. You know, best-selling books that happen all the time. So.
Right.
You know, who says they just came with a great idea? The best ideas was like the light bulb. So you're saying that the corporation came together and was like,
done that by her own, like on her own, like why can't she? Like,
exactly.
Are y'all jelly?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But anyway, guys, please comment below. So
don't forget to like, share,
some more guys.